Welcome to the Loveland Report Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner. Happy New Year. I'm here alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger. We're going to give everybody mortgage news, real estate news, what's going on in 2026. How good will this year be? I think it's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot better.
I'm not going to
give it great. I'm going to give it good. I'm going to give it better. And I'm okay with better. I just don't want worse.
I'm just happy we got our Sleepy Joe
Well,
hangover.
there's a lot of really positive things happening that I think are going to give people encouragement to get back into the market and keep things moving. When money isn't moving around, nobody's making money.
Mm-hmm.
Money has to move.
Yep.
Money is currency. And if it's not flowing, then nobody's making it. And we need money to move around. And I think there's several factors that are going to contribute to a better year. One, interest rates are improving.
Yep.
All right. We are banging on the very top of the high fives right now. You're getting interest rates down at 6.05% as an average 30-year fixed rate.
A year ago, January, they were 6.7, 6.8.
Right. So they're 0.75 of a point lower than they were. And all it takes is just a little bit more, and we could be at 5.875. And I think that the market's going to just go crazy and buyers are going to jump back in. But then I want to talk a little bit more later on in the show about taxes, because DeSantis is trying to eliminate the
property taxes on
homestead
taxes. Properties. Yeah, I want to hear what you've got on that. We're going to
talk about that because there's been a lot of additional proposals in this that a lot of people just aren't aware of. So I want to talk about property taxes and then homeowners insurance. So Citizens has really shoved the homeowners insurance. They've made it more difficult for people to get there because Citizens is a last resort, right?
Yep.
So they made it more difficult. But what happened is they made it more difficult for Citizens, but they made it better for the other carriers, and they're lowering their rates. Some of them are predicting that you're going to see double digits dropping in insurance rates.
That's what we need.
That's
part of the payment you've got to figure out for buyers when they qualify, right?
Absolutely. And if I could drop insurance and we can drop property taxes, oh boy, that's going to give people a lot more. And then you add in a reduced interest rate, that can add in a lot more buyers.
And here's the final kicker. This is what's all over Fox Business and Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. Tax refunds, all the tax breaks from the big, beautiful bill start January 26th. And people are going to get bigger tax refunds, which is good. Hopefully they save that money and don't go to the mall with it. And they save that for a down payment or eliminate some debt. And that's going to be where we see income is finally rising, and as expenses have, as Trump promised, would be coming down.
Right. And I think they will come down. I honestly think that we're going to see tremendous improvements in a lot of things. And it takes time for these things. Like the big, beautiful bill isn't just going to come out and all of a sudden everything's going to be fixed. Right. So it takes time, and time will tell as to how much of a benefit we actually get from this. But honestly, I think that we are starting to really see more people feeling better about what's going on with the economy.
And
I know I do.
And we've only had 3 months. I don't have December's numbers yet. Those will come out in 2 weeks. But we've only had 3 months of 2025 where sales of resale homes were better than 2024.
Right.
So what we're looking for is 2026 to beat 2025. We do that. That means we bottomed. We're coming out. I made a mistake beginning of the year, first to admit it. I called January. Oh God, we got a new president. This is going to be great. It takes time to turn the battleship. So I think that's what we're looking forward to. But Bruce, I've already written more business for January than I did last year. Now, that's just me.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that you're seeing, but your buyer activity, since rates really came down below 6.5, my buyer activity has doubled.
Yeah, I don't know if mine is doubled, but I'm seeing a lot more activity, a lot more pre-approvals coming in for purchase transactions. Realtors are starting to see some more activity. So I think that if we can really get the rate down just about 1/4 point more than it is right now, and we can taper down insurance and taper down those property taxes. But remember, the property tax bill, that's not going to come into play until next January.
Now, so we got some time. What your phone number?
407-706-3313, 407-250-9144. Gave you my other number.
You threw
it's
another
okay.
number.
They both work.
And then Loveland Properties, 407-352-8118. I will be working through the holidays. I do have plans for a New Year's Eve off, but that's about it. Been really busy. Now, Bruce, you've got some details on what DeSantis is talking about. I know very little besides he's trying to knock off about over half of people's property taxes on the properties that are homesteaded. So not your rental properties. This
Okay.
is just the one you're
So
homesteading.
there's a lot of things that have changed since that. So now they are now proposing that they're going to eliminate all property taxes, not just homesteaded property taxes. So think about this now. We got all property taxes eliminated. Now, this is a proposal, and they are now starting to come up with how to fund it.
Yep.
So now, some of it may sound good, and some of it you're not going to like at all.
Mhm.
But one of them is raising the state tax from 6% to 9%,
The sales tax.
the sales
Mhm.
tax.
Yep.
So, what you would pay now, you don't pay sales tax on groceries, but if you go out and buy products, you pay sales tax, it's going to increase it. And some
And
areas,
everybody pays that sales tax.
Everybody
That's
will
the
pay the
difference
sales
because the
tax.
tourists pay it. The people from the income tax dodgers, the people who don't pay any income tax. That's great. That's a great way to supplant that.
Well, but this is now eliminating all property taxes. Now, that doesn't fill the gap. So, what they're thinking of now is adding on a 5% exit tax for when you sell your property. Now, that could be
I
huge.
don't like that one.
So,
Yeah.
listen, but let's think about it. You have to put the math to it. If you are paying $5,000 a year in property taxes and you're selling a $500,000 house, you're going to pay $25,000 when you sell the house in taxes. But if you kept it for 4 years, you broke even on that.
Yeah, but that's not the way people think. But
Well, I
yeah,
know that
okay,
isn't the way they
yeah.
think. Now, you got to think about this. Now, here's what I thought. It would kill a flipper. If you're trying to fix houses up and turn around and
Yeah,
sell them,
yeah, yeah.
it would kill you. It would, and you and I have flipped houses, and we have an important part of what keeps these communities revitalized, because when we go in and fix a house up, we're taking a house that nobody wants to live in,
Yeah.
and we're fixing it up, and now we're generating positivity. We're getting a beautiful home in a neighborhood that people
But
can live in.
I'm okay with people seeing that as a barrier to getting into flipping, because I see very few flippers that make any money.
Right.
All the people texting you on your phone and calling you about selling your house and putting letters in your mailbox, most of them are call centers. It's big Wall Street funds. They're looking to rip people off. They take their equity.
Well,
So
you think about this. If we are now paying a 5% exit fee, I don't know if I like that one either. Okay.
Yep.
But why couldn't they do a 2% exit fee? Okay.
That's
And then
not
we
bad.
pick up another 2 for tourists, and we pick up another 1 from something
There are
else.
different ways to play. At least they're looking at it. That's what I love about DeSantis. He gets things done. So I would say it'd be interesting as these details come out. I think it all has to be voted on, right? It's got to be on the ballot.
Absolutely.
And-
And he cannot change it. It has to go through Congress
Yep.
for changing it. If you've got questions about that, maybe you have a comment, maybe you want to just chime in, call or text. Cleve and I can be reached. You can text my phone number at 407-250-9144, or go to webringyouhome.com. Get your application made now for a purchase. Listen, rates are down. Insurance prices are down. This is a great time to get in the market.
Now
It's a great time
off
to
my
entertain
numbers, Bruce.
refinancing too.
I want to talk to you about that. On these numbers, our inventory has been dropping for about 6 months. And now what's funny is, even though inventory is a lot lower than it was 7 to 8 months ago, we still kind of hit a buyer's market temporarily there in November,
Yes.
because we only had 1,800 sales, 12,500 listings. That's like a 6.4 or 6.3 supply.
Right.
So technically we're there. But I think this is why you need to talk to me, because the market is very fractured. If you're a 3.2 in Deltona for 300,000, you have 500 competitors. If you're a 4.3 with a pool in Winter Garden, near Winter Garden Village, right off the 429, you probably have one competitor.
Right.
So all those things come into play. And this is why I have a job. This is why people need to call me. I'll get you my free 50-point staging checklist. I will help you interpret your market. We talk in generalities. We talk about anecdotal stories about what's going on, what's happening around the country. We appreciate you tuning in. But remember, your market is your market. What does your house look like? Has it been cared for meticulously, or has it been beat to death? Has it had 7 Great Danes living in the home? Do you have 8 children, rambunctious grandchildren over every weekend, and hand them baseball bats and wiffle ball bats to go run around the house with? All these things come into play when we're looking at your house. But I want to ask you about refis. I think is another big part, because the last 2 years of Sleepy Joe, we were at 8%, 7%. those refis is going to free up cash for people too.
Absolutely, it
And
will.
especially, I love it. I made 6 landlords this year. I converted people thought they wanted to sell. I converted them to landlords because I showed them the numbers, went through that. They are all ecstatic about that. They will be even more ecstatic when they see their tax refunds this year. They're going to go up. Plus, they're happy with the values on their house, which are slowly climbing, and the advantages of that. So I just think you refinancing people is going to free up some more
and
people
here's
too.
the thing. I know there hasn't been a lot of lenders like me that have been telling people hold off on refinancing because you guys are all getting hammered by your lender, by your servicer right now to refinance. But the fact of the matter is that it is now getting closer. And for all of you that didn't listen to me and went ahead and pulled the trigger, you probably now cannot benefit from a lower interest rate because you just refinanced. So when you listen to the Lone Ranger, he's going to steer you in the right direction. Now, I think it's a good time. Get your application made now. Call me at 407-250-9144. I lend in all 50 states. But here's what you do. We get your application made. I only do a soft credit pull, no hard credit pull, soft credit pull. We'll get the application made. We look at what is the best possible rate that is reasonable that we could get to. And how much would that savings be? Then we divide the monthly savings into the cost of the refinance, and that tells you what your break-even period is. If you are less than a 36, it can oftentimes be the right thing to do. If you're over 36, I don't encourage you to do it.
You want to hit the home run because there's certain things that come into play.
And you can't always hit a home run though, because if I refinanced you right now at 5.875 and then tomorrow or 2 weeks after you close, it drops to 5.625. Yeah, it dropped an eighth to a quarter of a point, but now it doesn't.
But I think the opportunity is somebody looking at, can I lose my PMI?
Can you
What's my
eliminate
amortization?
PMI?
Is it
Or you know what I'm doing a lot of too now? I'm converting people to 15-year fixed.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Because even though, let's just say you have a $3,200 payment right now, and yet I could drop you to $2,800, save you $400 a month. Why not pay $100 more a month, go to $3,300, and I knocked 15 years and $200,000 worth of interest off your loan?
No, that's a smart play sometimes.
That's a smart play.
That's why all of this is personal. How many car payments you have, how many kids you have just leaving for college, how many little ones you have you want to send to private school. All those things come into play. So they need to give us a call. How much time we got, Bruce?
We got about 1 minute.
All right, let's give out the phone number. So if you need me, I am working this holiday season, January 2026 is right upon us, and we are going to have a great year in real estate and Loveland Properties. We're here to help you. 407-230. Oh, I'm giving your number. 407-352-8118 for Cleve, Loveland, and your real estate plan.
Oh, it's amazing here. I guess Christmas just got a little bit onto us. We're both forgetting our own phone numbers.
Yep.
The Lone Ranger right here in your backyard, 35 years in the mortgage business. Buying, selling real estate. I tell you what, Cleve buys it. He'll sell it for you. He'll manage it for you. I can do the mortgage for you. We can do refinances, home equity line of credit, reverse mortgages, construction loans, renovation
bridge
loans.
Mm-hmm.
Bridge loans are really popular with my builders. And if you're a small builder and you can't compete with the big shots, call me about my builder forward commitment to get that interest rate way down for your clients. Again, my name is Bruce Woodburn, and I am the Lone Ranger. You can reach me now at 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve and I will be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Do not